reproducing and continuing the circle of life cycle. So, what is reproduction and life cycle? Sexual reproduction occurs in a cycle. Diploid parents produce haploid gametes that unite and develop into diploid adults, which repeat the cycle. This series of life stage and events that a sexual reproducing or organism goes through is called its life cycle. So, how important is reproduction in continuing the life cycle? Reproduction ensures the continuity of the species and keeps it from becoming extinct. It plays a role in evaluation as it creates variations via genetic recombination. It helps to increase the number of series in the ecosystem. Is reproducing a life process? Reproduction is not regarded as a life process dahil hindi kinakailangan para mapanatili ang buhay, bagamat kinakailangan ang pagpaparami upang mapanatili ang linya ng isang organismo. Ang isang indibidwal na organismo ay maaaring mabuhay kahit na walang pagpaparamihan. What is the reproduction of life? Reproduction is a biological process by which an organism reproduces an offspring that is biologically similar to the organism. Reproduction involves and ensures the continuity of species generations after generations. It is the main feature of life on Earth. What is reproduction and how it is important to survival? Reproduction is a process through which organisms create offspring that contain all or part of the parent's genetic material. The ability to reproduce is necessary for the survival of species. During a sexual reproduction in a single organism creates an offspring that contains the same genes as its parents. Why is the cycle of life called? In biology, a biological life cycle or just life cycle or life cycle when a biological context is clear is a series of changes in information that organisms undergoes, returning to the starting gate or starting state. What reproduction means? The act or process of reproducing, especially the process by which parents and animals give rise to offspring and which fundamentally consists of segregation or fusion of the fertile body via sexual or asexual process and its subsequent growth and differentiation into a new individual.
For today is reproduction. So what is a reproduction? The reproduction is biological process by which an organism reproduces of offspring that is a biological similar to the organism. The reproduction has the two types. This is a sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So asexual reproductions have the four interdivided. This is a binary fission. This is cell split into the two each cell carry. For example, amobea. Second is a budding or breeding. I don't know what is the pronunciation. So this is the reductress itself and lives as an individual organism, for example, of hydra. The third is a fragmentation. The parent organism split into several parts, and each part grows into the new individual. For example, Panaria, as is the esprogenesis. This type of the reproduction of new organisms grows from the spores. And the last the least, this is the sexual reproduction. So what is about the sexual reproduction? This is the type of reproduction that involves the production of the offerings by the fusion of the male and female gametes.
There are three types of reproduction: binary fission, budding, and fragmentation. So what is binary fission? Binary fission is a single parent of doubles its then divided into two cells. Budding. Budding is a small growth on surface of parent breaks off, resulting in the formation of two individuals. Fragmentation. Organisms break into two or more fragments that develop into a new individual.
Growth and development. From a biological perspective, the term growth and development cannot be used interchangeable. Growth refers to the increase in mass and size of a body or organ. It typically occurs through the multiplication of cells and an increase in intercellular substance. Development refers to the physiological and functional mat- maturation of the organism. It also refers to the increase in capacity and skill to effectively function. Growth and development. Growths take all through the lifetime but variable. In the case of human. The rate of growth is faster than maturity. After attaining maturity, growth is gradual and slows down before it completely cases. Morphogenesis is the process where an organism is shaped by embryological factors such as the differentiation of cells, tissues, and the development of organs and subsequent organ system according to genetic blueprint of particular organ. Types of growth. We shall focus on the type of growth seen in plant, primary and secondary growth. The mitotic division in meristematic cells at the root and shoot affects the life of the plant. This is called primary growth, while secondary meristem, which result in an increased diameter of the plant, is known as secondary growth. Vegetative growth. The growth in plant before flowering is known as vegetative growth and include the formation of leaves, branches, and stem. Reproductive growth. In this stage, the plant begins to flower, which is an reproductive member of the plant. Characteristic of growth. Plants exhibit the ability to grow throughout their life. It is because of the presence of meristem and particular location on the body, and meristems have the capability to divide and self-perpetuate. Growth is a measurable. Growth is the consequence of the increase in protoplasm, and this rise is not easy to measure. Growth is measured by different methods, such as the rise in dry weight, the number of cells, volume, hike in fresh weight of volume. The figure below shows the position of root, apical, meristem, vascular compound, and shoot. Apical, meristem, and arrow show the growth direction of organ and cells. Characteristic of growth. The growth of plant is classified into three phases. Formative phases. The division of cells in the growth of plants is the most basic event. Every cell results in the division of cells that existed before mitosis is a kind of cells division that occur during growth and involve both qualitative and quantitative division of cells. The division takes place in two steps. First, the division of the nucleus, which is called karyokinesis, and division of cytoplasm, known as cytokinesis. An increased number of cells are carried in higher plants on meristematic location, and some daughter cells retain this meristematic occurrence, while some enter the next phase of the growth, called the phase of cells enlargement. Cell differentiation and cells enlargement. At this stage, the size of organ and tissue increase, and this occurs by the formation of protoplasma, developing hydration, and then integrating the new cell wall to make it thicker and permanent. Cell maturation. The enlarged cells at this stage occur specific form and size based on their role and location. Hence, various cells are differentiated from complex and simple tissues that perform different functions. Factor affecting growth. Hormones in animal and growth regulator help plants to grow steadily. Discuss more of the factor affecting growth in various living being. It would be convenient if we divide this factor into two broad categories, namely internal and external factor. Internal growth factor. Light. Light is one of the most crucial component of photosynthesis and in plants. Temperature. Every organism needs to suitable temperature to survive, to grow, to develop various and tissues and organs, and also to reproduce. Water. Plants absorb water through their roots and use it for photosynthesis and other biochemical processes. Mineral. Mineral nutrient. Other than light, water.
What is the process of reproducing? Human reproduction is when an egg cells from a woman and a sperm cells from a man unites and develop to form a baby. Ovulation is when a woman's ovary releases an egg cells, and fertilized egg is implanted in the uterus and grows into an unborn baby.